Hello, boys, girls, and those who sexually identify as a bruised butthole. I'm Mr. Dapperton, and today we're talking about white privilege. But first, we are joined by Ichabod Orange. Say hi, Ichabod.
Hey, Mr. Dapperton. Oh God, is this the root? Alright, let's see what the hell we're dealing with.
Great, let's do this shit.
Taxi!
Have you, or anyone that you know, ever had trouble hailing a cab? If your answer is no, then you might have white privilege.
That's freaking stupid. The majority of taxi drivers aren't racist. What the hell? That is throwing every taxi driver into a box. You're doing exactly what you're preaching is wrong. You're discriminating against someone based on their life position.
Oh, and let's not forget the fact that 90% of the people these days that are actually using a taxi service are calling Uber, which means they have somebody specifically coming out to get them. And if you've seen any of those terrible Uber videos...
I'm a passenger in your car. Like, that doll is offensive to me. But you don't want to take it down because you, found it at Goodwill and it was such a good find.
Oh my God, the crap those poor people have to deal with. A lot of times, taxi drivers won't pick somebody up because they know behavior's coming. Like if you're drunk on the side of the road, they're just gonna keep driving.
Here's how it works.
You'll see your child when you look at him. Look at David, age 9.
From the moment a white person is born, they're afforded certain privileges.
Alright, is that true? Are we given some sort of certificate that says that we're allowed to do things that black people can't? Because I never got that certificate. And without such certificate, how are we guaranteed such privileges?
While the extent and nature of their privilege varies from country to country, one thing's consistent. If you're white, society be like, you out here winning.
According to your logic then, there should be no poor white people. But as my memory serves, there's a freaking shit ton of poor white people. So based off that, you're full of shit.
By the numbers I'm looking at, which seriously looks like it's lowballing it, you've got about 260,979 in the estimated number of homeless white people in the U.S. by 2017. That is followed closely behind by 224,937 African American, 35,000 multiple race, 16,000 Native American, 8,000 Pacific Islander, and 6,000 Asian. Wow, the Asians seem to be doing really well. Maybe they're privileged somehow.
What's white privilege?
It's, bullshit.
In the words of Peggy McIntosh, a white scholar who started studying white privilege in the 1980s, white privilege is an invisible package of unearned assets that I can count on cashing in each day, but about which I was meant to remain oblivious. In her essay, White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, McIntosh even detailed dozens of examples of white privilege that she experiences in day-to-day life.
Why do I have a feeling that these privileges are going to be nitpicky bullshit that overall won't significantly impact anybody's life whatsoever?
For example, white folks are able to turn on the television and see someone who looks just like them.
The reason why you see more white people on TV is because white people are the majority in America. It's no surprise.
She even details things like being able to find band-aids that match her skin.
Now, I've already watched some of this video, and later on they try to say white privilege is keeping black people down, making it so they can't get homes, they can't get a job, they can't find a cab. But I'm sorry, I just don't see how white people being on TV and there being white band-aids is causing that.
Oh, and it's not like you can get, bandages of literally any color. I haven't met anybody with, Scooby-Doo colored skin either, but, these exist. Same price as every other Curade brand of Band-Aid.
And it works in 3 distinct ways. First, white privilege provides white people with perks. Some perks go unnoticed, like being able to actually use complimentary shampoo and conditioner at a hotel. These perks lead to a sense of entitlement because whiteness is the standard.
So what's your solution? Oh, I know your solution. Massive government. That's always your solution. So what do you want the government to do? Force private companies to put Afro cream in every restroom?
Imagine how white women would react if hotels only carried Shea Moisture.
I've actually used Shea Moisturizer. It's pretty good. I would be okay with this.
White privilege also creates measurable advantages. A white person is more likely to be approved for loans than black folks, and that's part of what has led to disparities in home ownership. Under 42% of black folks are homeowners compared to 72% of white folks.
That's because black people choose to drop out of high school. They choose not to go to college. They choose not to get that nice job and to get that nice credit score. Then they're not able to get that nice home that some white people can get. And it's not whitey that's keeping you down. It's not white privilege. It's what black culture has become. Black culture has become hip hop and rap. Now, what has hip hop and rap always been about? Dropping out of high school to pursue a life of crime. They're not doing the millions of black youth that listen to them any favors.
I mean, at least they're not juggalos.
So they're being led to the slaughter by their favorite role models. On top of that, they have no role model at home because it's statistically true that most black homes don't have fathers. With nobody guiding black youth, how do you expect black youth to end up on top? They can't. It's absolutely unfair to them. Now, the solution, of course, is for hip-hop artists and rappers and anybody that has captured the minds of black youth to start giving a positive message. Now, according to the FBI, black people commit 52% of murders and white people only commit 45% of murders. You may say, oh, who cares about a 7% increase? But you have to understand that white people are 77% of the population in America, and blacks are only 13%, meaning that they're about 5.5 times more likely to murder people than white people. Yes, you heard that right. Black people are 5.5 times more likely to murder than white people. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because later you guys say white people are incarcerated less than black people. Well, there's a reason for that. This is the reason. And I'm willing to bet that you would say that that is discrimination. In fact, later in this video, that will be your argument. Well, it's funny. So you're saying that black people should get away with murder and not pay the price and not go to jail. If they did the crime, they should go to jail and they should be incarcerated. But you're saying that's an injustice that they're being incarcerated more than whites. Well, they're committing more crimes than whites, so they should be incarcerated more. But your argument is that they should be incarcerated less for crimes that they did commit. That's ridiculous to me.
I think the worst part about this here is looking at this, which is Table 1 of the Bureau of Criminal Justice Statistics violent crime rates. It's unfortunately not just murders. It's murders, rapes, assaults, forcible entry into someone's home. And here's the actual numbers, just if you want to know. If you want to get down to it, the people who perpetrate the most violence against black people are black people, with 63.2% of all violent crime being committed against a black victim being a black perpetrator.
And what about jobs? With the exception of Asian men, all groups make less than white men when we talk about median hourly earnings. This especially impacts black women. Black women make 62 cents for every dollar that white men make.
Okay, now that's not for the same job. A black woman working the same job as a white man will be making the same amount. What they're talking about is throughout the year, black women make less than white males. Okay, black women make less than men, the same reason why white women make less than white men. And the reason why is simple. It's because they're women and they make babies. And when you're pregnant, you gotta take time off work, which means less money throughout the year. That's common sense, you morons. Not only that, they have to take much time off work to watch their children. That means they work less and get paid less. White privilege isn't real.
It is an earnings gap. And it's not necessarily just having babies. They take more time off for being sick. They take more time off for personal days. They take more time off to visit family or friends. They take more vacations, often unpaid or even paid a lesser wage. Sometimes these things just happen because, if you're not working, you're not getting paid to work.
And we also make 79 cents for every dollar that white women make.
Again, if there's a male doctor and a woman doctor, they would make the same. But throughout the year, they make a different amount because one has children and one has to take off work because of pregnancy. It's that simple. There is no sexism. Feminism is bullshit.
Not to mention that white people are able to profit off of industries that have historically penalized black folks. Just look at marijuana. According to the ACLU, the use of weed is pretty much the same among black and white people, yet black folks are nearly 4 times as likely to be arrested for possession. When it comes to banking off of the billion-dollar industry, black folks are shut out. About 1% of dispensary owners in the US are black. Yep, that has white privilege written all over it.
It's not white people's fault that black people choose not to get into an industry.
And folks, we're only talking about weed here. The fact that there are major disparities in incarceration rates based on race is no surprise.
That's because black people commit more crimes. So you're saying that they shouldn't go to jail for their crimes? That's ridiculous.
Finally, white privilege has pretty much come to shape everyone's view of history. Everything we've ever learned in schools, every face on our cash money, damn near every page in textbooks centers white people and has been written from the white perspective. These are the faces of our nation's heroes. Why does this matter, you say? Well, white privilege literally affects everything.
Income, education, employment, incarceration, spending, housing, and even assembling.
Real talk. Do we think that a black person can protest while being armed and live to see the next day?
Yeah, I've seen it personally. It happens all the freaking time.
These unearned handouts afforded to white folks are completely real.
No, they're not.
And the effects of white privilege are measurable. In the words of Damon Young, editor-in-chief of Very Smart Brothers, what white privilege means for white people is that their whiteness hasn't been a social, political, professional, financial, or legal hindrance. They have the privilege of the benefit of the doubt, which manifests as the privilege to just be. So now that you know, are we going to dismantle white privilege or not?
You can't dismantle something that does not exist, lady. Thank you, Ichabod Orange, for joining me. It was fun. We should do this again.
Sure, Damps, anytime. Just, maybe not the root.
I'll catch you guys on the next episode.